Welcome into episode 133 of About the Cards podcast live tonight on YouTube. We are, as always, with me host Stefan Loeffler at Junk Wax Twins, Ben Wilson at Our Trading Cards, and I'm Tim Shepard at Big Chef 79. We are a podcast by collectors for collectors, so I'm going to bring you a smart, insightful podcast because in trading card collecting. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook Live. Follow us on Twitter About the Cards. We're available as a podcast anywhere you can find one. Check out the website aboutthecards.wordpress.com. And we have a brand new show sponsor. We want to welcome Underdog Collectibles. Thank you very much for hanging out with us and being our sponsor. They're going to be sponsoring our upcoming tournament. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but they are a card shop for collectors run by collectors. You can join them live on YouTube and Facebook every Tuesday, Thursday. It's Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for live card breaks. They offer a wide variety of break options that won't break the bank. Remember, always bet on the underdog.
Ben, that's it.
How are we doing tonight, fellas? We having good times? We were supposed to have Chris Torres on tonight, but they've lost power. He's not going to join us, but we'll do that in 2 weeks, and we're going to cover our project 2020
review.
How's your week been, Steph?
Besides the echo, pretty good.
And there he went. Sorry, Ben's having some internet issues, so he's joining from his phone tonight.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we get that worked out. But
no, I mean, I've been hearing, and it's part of the reason Chris is out, that there's just some power issues going out throughout the country, as well as the internet issues. I mean, was it Pakistan or India that lost complete internet coverage for an entire day or two?
Oh, I didn't see that. Of course, I've been buried in my computer on other stuff this week, so
sure,
yeah. But no, it's going to be good. We're going to have a nice review of Project 2020. He did some really in-depth looks at 2020 that we didn't quite cover. He got into it. He was doing weekly shows or daily shows on it. He stayed up to date on the print runs, and he did a really nice job on his website, crtsportscards.com, where you can see all the artists, even the side project card, the companion cards. He put those in there, and so you can get a really good idea of what it looks like. So we'll get to that. Chris was really apologetic. He said, "Dude, you can't control the weather and the power and not having internet, and I didn't want him to drain his phone battery, to be on the show for half hour or whatever." But we'll get to it. Chris is a great guy, so we will. There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, we're going to talk about favorite cards. We're going to talk about the best card set, 20 card set. What artist did the best job for all 20 cards? What artist did the worst job? What our least favorite card was? What our favorite card was? We're going to talk about the collectability and the future of another set coming out like this in the future. So
it gives me some extra time to actually get those together, because while some of the cards look nice week to week, we'd only picked up 2. And I don't know if you can really honestly judge a 400 card set based on 2 cards.
Yeah, and that's what great thing about Chris's site is that why it's up there. You can take it all in together and look at it. You can look at it by player, by artist. So I think that was pretty cool. So we'll hop into it. Ben, you ready? Ready to rock and roll?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys just fine. Am I okay? Yeah, I don't know why my internet's not working on the laptop tonight, so we'll do it through the cell phone. Old school.
We'll do it live. It's fine.
Yeah, it sounds good. So we were just telling about Chris and how he couldn't come on, but what we're going to be talking about with him in 2 weeks, and coming up about the set as a whole. So, I mean, you and I collected the whole Brett run, which I have now in front of me, and you collected the Ricky Henderson and the McGuire run with your pops. And so, and then Steph picked up I picked up a couple of randos, so there are a couple McGuires I picked up.
I want to say it was the Ted Williams with the planes flying around. Not sure the artist. And then, of course, we picked up one of these just cause.
Kind of had to. And I picked up the Trout number 100. I picked up a Tony Gwynn, the one that's a Mr. Padre. And then there are a couple that I have because I was buying the pair with the Brett. And that only lasts like 2 or 3 weeks because then that's when the print run started to run wild. And
I ended up picking up the Jameson, Nolan Ryan, and the Keith Shore Griffey because we've talked so much crap about him. I felt like, I better own those two, and for like $9 shipped for the pair. But then I also picked up, of course, the Keith Shore Nolan Ryan at the end that had all of the players. That one was kind of tough to pass up.
Yeah. I skipped that one. I was kind of on the fence with it, but not a bad card. Not at all. Let's get into the week that was last week's releases. We have Topps Living Week 148, card 377, Garrett Cole, pitcher, New York Yankees, and then card 378, Cole Tucker, outfielder, Pittsburgh Pirates. The Topps had not updated the site. They're about a week behind on the numbers, on the sold numbers. But again, it's a Garrett Cole Tucker week. So that was the long-necked week. And after we said that, there were a lot of people that said they couldn't unsee the long necks. After we said
it's just really prominent, especially on the Garrett Cole.
Yeah. His head's turned. I mean, it's not a bad photo, and yeah, you got the dude from Metallica there. So we also had 2020 Panini Extra Edition Baseball Drop, 2021 Upper Deck Synergy Hockey, 1920 Panini Eminence Basketball kind of came out as well. I didn't look. I need to. I was going to, but I just didn't run out of time to look for the Panini Eminence breaks if anybody was opening it. I have not yet, so I might leave myself a note. I got some downtime tomorrow to check that out and see what $40,000 of basketball cards looks like. So
a big waste.
Yeah. Hot off the press is this week's new release. It's going to be quick this week. We have Topps Living Week 149, card 379, Eddie Matthews, third base Hall of Famer for the Atlanta Braves. I had to double check to make sure they didn't put Milwaukee. They did put Atlanta. And then card 380, Johnny Cueto. That's right. Johnny Cueto, pitcher of the San Francisco Giants, where I'm wearing my Giants gear tonight, which I did go ahead and pick one of those up today. Good picture of good old Eddie Matthews, one of the best third basemen. And then Cueto, that's a really good rendition of and I don't know who did what card. So
Jared Kelly did the Cueto, and Sato did the Matthews. The Matthews should have been Milwaukee. He only played 1 year in Atlanta. So that's kind of a missed opportunity there.
Yeah. And so,
I'm not a fan of that Cueto. I've talked to a couple of people about it. I mean, the shadowing on it almost looks unfinished. If you line it up versus others, I mean, if you just go back and forth between that and the Eddie Matthews, it does not look like the same artist, which of course it's not. But, that moving forward is definitely going to be something to watch, how much of that looks going to be different. I mean, we're a few hundred cards into this set now, and all of a sudden now we have a slightly different look.
Yeah, I just think they were wearing her out. I mean, she was doing 3 cards a week for so long, and then it went down to 2. And I think it's nice if they can have somebody come in and help and do a second card, and this way it continues the set longer. Because again, I really enjoy looking forward to this every week and to see who's out there. And again, they did it smart. Okay, so they have a veteran guy that's been around the league a little bit, right? And then they have a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Braves have been well represented. The Giants not so much, but it's a good combination. This is what they need to look forward to. Now, if they had like an all-star, like a superstar current player, and then like just a Cole Tucker type, right? Then that's not a bad week. I mean, the Garrett Cole last week, pitchers maybe put a hitter with a pitcher because I think they just do better in the trading card market.
I don't know if he has one, but Acuna Matthews, Albies Matthews.
Well, Acuna has one, remember, because he sold 45, almost 46,000.
Okay.
Yeah, he's number one. I don't think we'll ever see that again. Because if Luis Robert didn't hit it, I mean, well, hold on, wait though. I mean, Jason Dominguez comes up, we might get $1 million.
Of course, it's a Yankee.
We're going to talk about Dominguez later in the show.
Eddie Matthews looks perfect. It's a great card. Should have been Milwaukee. However, I mean, with the hat choice, and maybe they just airbrushed it into an Atlanta hat. It's not a bad choice. The Cueto, though, I mean, it looks like he's either swimming with his jersey on or he's looking in a mirror. It's just got like that steamy bathroom mirror effect.
Yeah, the background's not the best,
but it's a good looking card. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, all I know is that Bean is enjoying the talk about Topps living.
It's a good looking card. It's just one of those things where it doesn't fit in line with all of the cards that have come before it. So, I mean, the Garrett Cole did. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what Jared Kelly brings to this moving forward. We all might have to curb our expectations and just run with it moving forward.
Yeah. We also had 2020 Panini Playbook football drop today. It's $475 a box, 1 pack per card, 4 cards per pack. This is the hobby release. You're going to get 3 autographs or mem cards and 1 booklet card. It's a 200 card base set, retail only, so you can only get the base cards in retail. Hobby is a premium product with every card's a hit, and then the retail has hits too, but they're also going to provide the traditional base cards. Check out, you're going to look for rookie playbook jersey autographs. These open up to a vertical showcase of the player in the jumbo swatch on top with an on-card signature at the bottom, and they're numbered to $299. There's also rookie jumbo material booklets, and those cards don't have an autograph, but they have a massive patch with swatches that are on both panels.
That's kind of cool
looking. Yeah, and those are numbered 99 or less. There's also the rookie signature locker booklets, and they have 6 pieces of memorabilia, and they're more than just jersey materials included. So like helmets, balls, shoes, gloves maybe are going to be included in there. And then there's also 3.
Like that's I said, it's almost like that's the thing we suggested some of these companies try again.
Yeah, and then there's the 3 panel vault trifold jersey autographs. Obviously, it folds out with NIM, and then the 3 pieces and autograph sitting in the center. And then there's what I thought were cool, the face-to-face signatures, numbered to 49 or less. And it's new this year, and it's 2 players that have autographs in NIM, but 2 players that match up against each other. So the card they showed was Zeke and Saquon, which NFC East. It makes for like, hey, these are 2-star running backs in the league. Then they have one like that Josh Allen, which is the Nexus Trifold Jumbo. He's diving, and it's got jersey all around.
Game of inches.
And that's a game of inches. And then the Nexus Trifold is 3 teammates. So some pretty cool stuff coming out this week. I remember a Playbook back in the day, like when it first came out, it had 4 packs with 1 card each. And you open it up like a book, and you open the pack, and there was like a base card or a parallel card, and then a hit. It was pretty cool. So it's I don't know, the fact that it's a retail version now too, and you can get, it's like why? But again, we can print more. More.
Well, but in theory, if they're printing more to meet retail demand, and obviously you're not going to get the super 1-of-1 patches or anything even remotely close to the pictures that we just showed, that just means that people will be able to eventually build the set out, either Sport Lots or ComC or wherever, getting the single cards. And if anything helps a set collector instead of just a hit collector, auto collector, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I get it. It's 2. We didn't talk about this week because we'll talk about here. So check out Ryan Cracknell's articles on Beckett.com/news for more detail on this release. Let's bring next week's new releases. 2021 Topps Archive Signature Series Active Player Edition. Topps ass
is back.
2021 Upper Deck Artifacts was supposed to be this week. It looks like it got pushed back to next. And 2020 Panini Contenders Football. I've seen it like hit retail big time. People are cleaning up Contenders Football retail right now. Guys, real quick. Contenders Football. Somebody posted today, and I apologize because I don't have his name in front of me. Said, "Is this just not the most lazy give up look?" And I said, "Isn't it every year with contenders? Nobody cares what it looks like. Everybody just wants the rookie ticket autographs and some apparel. No one wants the base. Even Mojo Break, when they do a break of this after the first week or two of releases, when they've done so many cases of contenders, they'll do a break of this and they don't ship veteran base. They donate it to some children's thing or whatever, right? Because no one wants contenders base cards. And you go and no one builds that set. They only want the retail. Yeah, it was Beast and Cards. They only want the autographs, which is fine because that's what people want to. But just be careful that. And I saw that I think the retail blasters have something exclusive to them. Again, which means there's going to be a lot of base and hard to hit those exclusives. And just again, the printers are cranking out the base cards when you do that. And so just be careful and overpaying for one of those blasters. Yeah, historically, here we go. Dub. Historically, contender retail blows. As for hobby, nothing holds value except for the autos. And this man is Dub clicks football like crazy, and he would know. So that's a.
Go ahead.
No,
I was going to roll into a thing that's not on the notes.
Yeah.
So speaking of retail, we have been looking mostly for hockey because I'm maybe 15, 20 base cards, young guns mostly, away from finishing off my 2020-2021 Upper Deck set. Then just because it's available here in Dallas. But we also got lucky and found some NBA Hoops Premium Edition. And the reason I bring it up is that the show account had posted a poll, and I'll show all the cards from that here. Some nice looking cards. Basketball is not my hugest thing, but I'll break a pack or two every year just to have some on hand. Some of the major names: Zion, Kendrick Nunn, Ja Morant, obviously, Cam Reddish with his squiggle auto. Hachimura, some
you did
decent.
well.
Oh, I thought so. Silver Prisms were all right. My Zion, what is it? The premium stock circle, slightly off printed, but I mean, hey, so be it. Some decent greens, some decent blue colors, including the Towns, which is not leaving the house. And then the Scope Prism Hachimura tribute version. Nice looking cards, but like I said, we'd posted a poll on that. I think it ran for about a day, and people disagreed. So I did kind of like a quarter tier: good, great, bad, freezing cold. And in order, 29.4% thought that I did really well. 23.5 says, yeah, it's okay. 35.3 leading vote getters, yeah, it's bad. And then almost 12% said it was a horrible break.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, you hit all you go back, you hit the top two rookies in the set that you want. You hit a second Zion insert. Sure. Nunn and Garland are Reddish, Hashimura. All guys people are looking for. So, Reddish, I don't get it. Whatever. I think you did pretty well.
Well, it was only 5 retail packs. It's not like I bought a box or anything.
Yeah.
And then more so, as Angela had picked up the packs, there was a guy that swooped by and said, "Oh, hey, are you done picking up your sports cards?" Like, yeah, the rest are yours. There's no basketball and there's no hockey left, and there's just a few Tops updates, and he left empty-handed. But that's the way it goes this year.
So real quick about Tops update blasters. The Future Stars Club, from Tops, November I got a update blaster, and I was like, I'll open it, whatever, right? Because they have those little coin relics that are in them. And I mean, I already opened so much, and I was like, cool. I want to get. I pulled the Wong soda, so I didn't do too bad. But and they had like some of the turkey reds and stuff in there. The cards I got in there, I and it's a really light rookies and update. Dude, I don't think I hit really any star name and or any solid rookie card. I was going through it like in the black. It was the worst blaster maybe opened. I mean, it was, it's fun. It's great if you're going to build a set because it had all the guys in it. But I'm talking like, yeah, it was a lot of filler, which is all right. I didn't expect anything, but I mean, it was just kind of a bad. It would if it's someone's first box of that, it would have been a really poor example of Topps Update, which was not the best this year. So let's get into the infield chatter, hobby talk section part of the show. 2020 Bowman Heritage at Scotty Ballgame tweeted out this week. There's more friends. Just keep printing money. I really like last year's Bowman Heritage, and these look to be the 92 design. Bowman design, pretty darn cool. Hoping they're autos too. So this came out the other day, and it looked like a 92 box of Bowman baseball, and it went on sale, and I think the pre-order price was $100. And then there were some issues. I know that Ryan Cracknell bought his boxes and was charged 3 times for it, but thankfully he was refunded for 2 of them. And then it happened to a lot of people because Mike Summer went to buy his boxes, and an hour later after he got the email, was shut out. And then later they said, "Oh, well, we're going to fix it." And he was able to go back through and buy his boxes. Ben, have you seen the checklist?
No, I've not.
Yeah.
Yeah, checklists have been definitely few and far between lately. Still waiting on that Topps Mini one from November, but no, I haven't seen anything in regards to Bowman Heritage. I looked this morning and didn't see it. I just
checked. Cardboard Connection doesn't have one, and neither does Beckett.
I do like the 92 Bowman design, but it's kind of weird.
I love the design. It's weird unless they go with full-on the really tacky designs from like the art photo studio, standing next to cactuses and crap.
Yeah. My whole thing is, wasn't the first year 52 and then they went to 92? It's like...
Right. So that's what I was going to say. So they did 52, I think, last year, but this was actually an older product that they ran 48, 49, somewhere in there through 55 already. Last release in 2007. They brought it back last year. But they skipped straight to 92. Yeah, okay, I get the hatred for 89 Bowman. Sure. But 90 is a decent set. 91 is okay. You're just going to skip straight to 92? I mean, this would be akin to stopping Topps Heritage in 2005 and skipping all of the 60s and jumping straight to 72.
Yeah, but aren't they doing it like 20 years in behind? Because they're a year off with the whole Heritage thing, depending on how you want to look at it with the 1 year anniversary. So maybe that's why they're doing 92 in 2021. Or 30 years, excuse me, not 20.
So then last year they should have used 91.
Yeah.
Thanks, Topps.
It's a mess. It doesn't make sense. There's no they're throwing a dartboard and they're going to be like, 98 next time. So, anyway.
As well as 52 Topps because, well, you got to have that and everything.
Speaking of that, 1951's Blake Jamieson. New York's own Blake Jamieson will be designing his own version of the classic 51 Topps set. Each week in January, the Topps will be offering 13 new design 1951 Topps cards for a total of 52, just like the original set. It's 13 cards per pack. So you buy one pack for $20, you're going to get all 13 cards. So basically $80 for the 52 card set. Randomly inserted. Parallel backs, blues are numbered out of 51, greens out of 25, black and whites out of 10. Players with player photos with red backs are 5. black and white photos with players and with the red back. And then there's the number 5 wrapper backs and number 1 gold back. And then there's a number out of 100 Blake Jameson artist card. I went ahead and picked up the Brett's online today because he was in Series 1. I think I paid like $1.99 or $2.99 for the guy offers. The seller had 5 listed for sale, so I bought all 5 for this. I was going to go back and I was like, for $80, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad set to maybe build.
Sure.
I'm still on the fence if I want to buy it. Because if I buy one, I got to buy them all, I think.
Right.
I don't know. And I was going to ask you guys tonight what you think.
Well, I do love the set. My hatred for it is that they gimmicked it out. 51 tops, for those who don't know, is 2 colors. There's red and blues. They're each 26 cards, I believe, completing a 52 card set. It seems like, again, they're doing blue backs. Okay, fine. Original set. Why is green in this? Red, okay, for sure. The wrapper, kind of a cool addition to that. Yellows, why? The cards themselves look great, and it was pointed out, and I don't know if this is further in the show notes, but the card, the 22-year-old took his game to another level in a shortened 2020 season, batting .351 with a ridiculous .490 on base percentage. I hope that gets grammar checked, or Paul Lesko is going to have another card for his collection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys, I think I'm drunk right now. I'm gonna go buy the box. I'm gonna build the set now. Damn it.
You know, the 1951 Topps cards I've mentioned multiple times is one of the most underrated sets I think that we have in the hobby, and a lot of it's because it was overshadowed by the big boy that came the following year, and is often seen as the first Topps release by a lot of casual collectors. You know, this is a great looking product. Blake is a phenomenal artist. I just, with the Ben Baller Chrome last year and now this, we saw one of the other artists, I forget which one off the top of my head, did the stadiums for Project 2020. You're just going to, 2021 is going to be the year where we don't have Project 2020, but all of the artists are going to get an opportunity to have a standalone release. I can almost guarantee that, if not all of them, most of them. And,
Ben Baller had his, and I don't think he's going to be asked back.
No.
Too controversial
things that have popped up that he's been doing lately. So
I would love to know which artist, and maybe somebody out there does know. I'm pretty sure Ivan knows, but what artist was asked not to be a part of the project after having originally signed on, and then was thus replaced by Don C in the program. I would love to know why they were asked not to leave. There's got to be a pretty juicy backstory there.
And of course, we'll never find out.
No, I just did it. So I'm going to be building the set now. So there goes $80.
I do not believe there's a check.
I guess that's like buying one Project 2020 card. So what am I?
It could be a fun set to have.
I'm never going to be able to afford the 51 set, so might as well get the guys that I'm watching baseball and have that set of them. And plus, Blake was on the show. He's did some of my favorite cards. I think he probably did my favorite Brett card. I'm not lying. I think he might have my favorite Brett card.
And we all knew. In addition, Blake tagged on as 3B mentioned that when you buy the box, you get the complete set. So that's nice. It's not just this one card gets replaced by this parallel. You get the set.
Well, and hell, you hit the right parallel, you could flip and pay for your box, right? So we'll see what happens. Speaking of Project 2020, Doc Gooden Project 2020 autographs updates. So this came from at Card Fathers. Doc Gooden Jr.'s statement came out, and Card Father said, "I feel bad for all the people who lost money to this guy." The statement was not the best here. First, let me say I apologize for how the business as went with. And I'm reading
as written.
Without going into much, of course, it's been a lot you guys don't know. I understand you guys are upset, and I would be also. By far, I have benefited off not sending out a card. Not one benefit. Okay. Feel free to take whatever actions you guys feel. Just make sure we keep the respect for others on a high note. I'm still human and a man at the same time, so I won't allow disrespect from anyone. Once again, do as you feel to get your money back for whatever card. Let's keep it on that note. Enjoy your day. Okay, first of all, half that didn't make sense.
Essentially, what he's saying is he didn't make any money off of it. Keep it civil, and his relation with his dad may be as strained as Aaron Rodgers with his family.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an easy layup, but that's essentially what it sounded like he was saying. Hey, keep it civil, get your money back however you can, but we didn't make any money, and it's not me.
so where'd the money go?
He was really nice at the end. Have a nice day. It's like, I screwed you. I'm not offering you your money back. You guys can't have your money back. You guys can go to your bank if you'd like it, but it's like, dear Jesus.
Yeah, I don't get it. Seth MacFarlane Auto Pens. You remember that Rittenhouse release they had for what was it? What show was that?
The Orville?
Yeah, so this comes from our buddy Ryan Cracknell's article on Beckett.com. Rittenhouse was quick to jump into action. MacFarlane has signed a new batch of cards, this time with his actual autograph. They announced the set. They've set up an easy exchange program for collectors so they can trade one of the auto pen cards for one with an authentic signature. For each auto pen card sent in, Rittenhouse will replace it. Cards must be received before the authentic cards can be sent out. Exchange requests must be sent to Rittenhouse Archives, and they have an address listed there. Exchange program is valid until December 31st of this year. There's only, I think, 150 cards.
Sure.
You can definitely see the difference. I mean, the auto pen is very vibrant and solid. In his regular autograph, there's some natural lightness to a little bit of the autograph, which makes sense.
Right. I mean, you can tell that he actually, it's not just a steady machine, 100% the same signature. There's actually some differences in pressure applied and where he starts and stops. As well, it's nice that they give people about a year to get things replaced, knowing that not all of the boxes are fully open yet. So I think what they did was they'd released 300-400 boxes, and like one every two had his auto in it. Don't quote me on the set, but I think it broke down something similar to that. And it's nice to see them stand by it. They're saying essentially, hey, this isn't right, we're going to make it right. And it gives them some credibility, additional credibility.
No, absolutely. And yeah, it broke down to where there was roughly 150 cards affected. His autos fell every other box. So it wasn't like it would be a ton of time or effort. And who knows what the original contract stated. I think James had said that it might have just been an auto. He might not have thought he was doing anything wrong per se.
Sure.
So, good for him to be able to get those into the collectors. And the main thing is, if you did pull one of these, make sure you get that card back to them by the end of this year in order to get the replacement.
Yep.
Yeah. I appreciate, I think that they're showing how to make it happen. So, take note, others. Take note, please, because it's just one of those things that I don't think a lot of companies own up to. So I just wish that more would do that. So eBay spam, God, there's so much of it right now. Our buddy Jay Kirchner 13 tweeted this out. This is the worst title. It says Albert Pujols Topps Update PSA 10. question mark, exclamation, question mark, investment with a bunch of exclamation marks, Cardinals rookie, question mark, auto, question mark, 1 of 1, question mark, and it is right here.
So
it's this. Topps update active leaders and runs. Right here. He's on an Angel. It's a 2020 update card as an Angel, but he hits all the keywords: autograph, 1 of 1, rookie, Cardinals. So you think it's possible an investment card.
So what you're saying is this guy doesn't.
It's not the only one. First of all, it's 99 cents to start bidding, and then $4.75 to ship. This is an 18-cent card all day on Sport Lots. This is not the only one, because what people are starting to do now is put these words into there so that random Joes that are getting into the hobby will think, oh, God, yeah, I got to have that. Like, that's what I need. I need that in my life. So...
Well, and then speaking of hobby spam on eBay, things you have to have. What are you looking at? Max Mayer eBay auctions.
Yeah.
Story checks out.
Well, I'm going to buy some Max Meyer cards now. I think you talk about that because that came across from you. So
yeah, this is our friend Kevin.
Steph, are you on mute?
Am I?
Because I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Steph figures out how to use it. We've lost Ben again. So it's the Tim Big Shep Show. Welcome.
Boop.
No,
great to be on with you guys.
Sorry.
Cards and awful to wire Kirby Puckett and how they were,
Hello?
been an all-star.
I'm here. I just don't want to have to hold my phone the entire time because I'm on my phone. So I figured I'd.
Okay, well, I can't hear Ben now either. So can you guys hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Can you hear me now?
What's up,
Murph? I can hear you.
Raise your hands. Yeah, I can't hear you guys at all. Either one of you.
Steph, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Listeners, if you can hear me.
Presumably you can hear me.
Steph, I hear you. Do you guys hear me, though?
We hear Tim just fine.
Yeah, that's weird.
Shep, leave and come back.
Give me a second. Steph, take the rings for a sec.
Yep. Kick his ass out. No, I mean I could hear you both fine. So back to that. Our friend Kevin sent this out saying, like I said, my wife, what are you looking at? Me, Max Mayer eBay auctions. My wife, story checks out. 3, lot, Max Mayer 2020 Bowman Chrome Greatness 20/20 Features Rookie. And that's the actress lady from, is that Bing Bang?
Yeah.
I want to say.
Kelly.
Kelly.
Hi.
I'm bad at pop culture.
Penny. Just Penny.
Yes. Yeah, that looks like all of the Max Mayer cards I have, which was a comment someone else had. None of the Max Mayer cards I have look like that, which I thought was funny.
Yeah. So I'm back. Welcome. It was my stupid earbuds. Or earpods.
That's actually, I received a text from D'Angela saying, tell him to change out his earpods.
No, I disconnected and reconnected, and you guys came back, and it was still, I don't know what's going on.
Thanks, Topps.
Yeah, thanks, Topps. Keep those printers on, Panini. This tweet's from @UpMySleeves. By the way, poor guy. The guy's name's Timothy. He does not represent all Tims. Hungry is what it says. This is the same dude that was talking up his bot at the end of last year, and it's just a sea of Prism and Prism football and premium stock basketball. It's hangers, cellos, and blasters. Guys, if this is not the antithesis of the printers just printing cards, we've talked about this for weeks. This is the stuff that we're going to see in 5 to 10 years at shows and shops that will be half of what they're buying them for at retail. People will be able to just get, because there's just too much of it. I mean, without any guaranteed autographs, this is what happens with Panini Prism football.
Well, and the sad part is, this guy buying up hundreds of these prison boxes, you're now cutting out the individual guys like me or Dub that would go to a store and buy a pack or 3 or a cello pack or 3 every season and either stream it or share their content as far as, hey, guys, I'm breaking a pack or 2. Here's what it looks like. What I usually like to do. Yeah, so just so that he can have it, sit on it, and gloat about his bot buying out all of the boxes. Congrats. Really impressed.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, retail's fun and all, but it's
retail. That's the thing. When I started, that's all that I relied on was going to buy a blaster of 2004 Topps Series 1, Series 2 opening day because nobody wanted it.
Yeah, don't be the douchebag standing in line, dude, man. If you're standing in line with 18 other degenerates, I mean, I get some of you guys are probably out there trying to get a box to open for personal consumption, but the optics of you standing there for hours and stalking the vendor when that person's trying to do their job, don't be that douchebag. The people are out there taking pictures of it. Yeah, they're going to take pictures of it because you guys are knuckleheads. The ones out there trying to sell crap products like Elite Extra Edition for 2x, 3x. Good Lord. Once a mark, always a mark.
Hold on. So this came across from Cardboard Icons today. He sent this to me.
You want to send it to me? You got no audio.
Okay.
I know how to do that.
Okay. Well, it came across to me. It's a really quick 13-second video.
Shoot me the link.
I don't think I have the link. Anyway, it shows. It basically is telling, "Hey, this is my buddy XL. He's quit stalking him from his home to go buy sports cards. People are following this old man who's in his 60s from his home to the store to watch him stock cards."
So
In the Bay Area.
I can walk you through it. If you tap the share screen button, in the bottom left it says share audio. Just tap that.
All right, yeah, you guys got to hear this. I do want to share this. So,
it's a public service announcement for anybody in the Bay Area looking for cards. My man XL right there, he said stop following him from his home to the Targets. Yo.
What's wrong with people? His house?
That's ridiculous that you have to do that.
Yeah, just to me, that's pathetic. Because the whole point, the best thing that was about retail was that you could go and buy a box and try it out for $20. You could open something fresh for $20. It got collectors back into it when they might be buying diapers or milk at the middle of the night at a Walmart or a Target. Oh man, I remember when I collected cards to get back into it. It gave everybody an opportunity. But the problem is that now that hobby is so expensive, therefore people had to go to the cheaper option, which is retail. And now people are paying ridiculous amounts for retail because that's all they could get. And it's still less than what they're paying for hobby. But at the end of the day, guys, it's all the same stuff that we opened years ago that we let sit around.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, the retail used to be, hey, here's a taste of the base stuff, maybe an insert or two, high odds on getting a numbered card, and good luck getting a relic, or an auto out of something like that. But it gave you a taste of the product. And hey, if you liked it, you can go buy hobby box from such and such stores, because usually they'd have promotions for, Topps National Baseball Card Day or something to the effect like that. Go to a hobby shop. Hey, here's places where but now everyone's hogging that just because they can't find it. And you're pricing out the newer collectors, the people that might only buy one or two a year, or one or two blasters a year.
Yeah.
Or in the case of the summer, well, hey, I screwed up and bought all of this Ellen and Ginter, and now I need to sell it.
Or the guy, I think earlier in the chat, Dub talked about the guy that bought all the rookies and stars. Now, talk about super uncollectible product. Rookies and stars might be the antithesis of that. It might be worse than gallery baseball.
Hey! Now, I was having a good day. Why do we have to bring gallery into this in a negative light?
Dude, because it looks like you and I drew the pictures. That's why it looks awful. If hold on. If those cards had the same look and the same artist quality that we see out of Project 2020, or that we see out of Topps Living, or we're seeing out of the Bowman 51 or the Topps 51s from Blake, if gallery looked maybe even halfway as good as that, I would not say it was a bad product. It's awful sketches. They are terrible. They looked rushed. They looked like they were done by a high school art teacher that said, "Hey, listen, class, pick your favorite player, draw his picture. We're going to have a show at the end of the year." And then you have the guys that the kids that don't know how to draw in there. And they get the same grade if they can put a face together as the perfect kid that might get a B because the teacher knows he has talent. That's what it looks like. It's terrible. I'm sorry.
So what you're trying to say is Topps Gallery is the participation trophy of products?
It is. But if they put any effort into the artwork, it could be amazing. Think about that. A whole project opening with amazing, maybe do a 50 card set, maybe do a 100 card, like keep it simple.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
I honestly think the best thing for gallery, though, and I think we've said this on the show in the past, not to get too far onto a tangent we hadn't anticipated, but I think the best thing for it would be to be an insert in something else. I don't know specifically whether it be heritage, might be, Ginter, who knows? I mean, put a little thought into it, but gallery's not around for the long haul. It's just not, for the reasons you mentioned. It's just something different to collect, and I think that's why I personally enjoy it, because it's not just shitting out sapphire and chrome, this, that, and the other thing. And I think that's really the biggest issue I personally have with so much of the product we're seeing.
Yeah. Well, I have a question. So Dub brings a good thing up in. There's a lot of good chat going on. He says, I would say most of the hobby does not flip retail. I think that's what they're talking about here. So what's your thought? I mean, do you think most people that are in the hobby and have been or participate actively, maybe not even as actively as we do with having a show and stuff, but that actively participate in buying and selling cards and building collecting guys that they like, or they think they're fun to collect or whatever. How many do you think are actually going in specifically to buy and flip that retail product versus buying it to open and or trade?
And that's kind of what I tacked on in chat, was that there's always been, the guys that will buy a product, open it just to get the one or two major guys so they can sell that. But it's more of a much more recent thing to buy the product, hold it, and then try to sell that. I mean, there's a few guys like Big Steady Cool, who we had on the show for an interview one weekend forever ago, or Those Back Pages, who has a essentially unopened wax gold mine, kind of similar to the money pit that Grandpa Duck dives into in the opening for the cartoon. Thank you. What the Grandpa? You know what I meant. Look, but I think this is purely a new phenomenon to stack up boxes and boxes and boxes just to flip them at a cost.
Well, I think that what it is it's predatory sales, right? So basically, I'm going to. There's a finite amount of product per store, regardless of when you get there, right? The shelves only hold so much product. So if I can get my hands on 100% of that, or a significant portion of that, let's say the three of us split it evenly, we're only getting a finite amount of product. That fourth guy comes in.
Buy 10 boxes.
So let's say the shelf holds 50 boxes, and each of us get, 17 boxes. Okay, so it holds 51. And now we have we've cornered the market at Target on Main Street and Anywhere USA. If there's not an LCS around for 90 miles, that's the LCS for a lot of casual collectors, a lot of young collectors that might be able to afford $20 on an allowance or a part-time job around the neighborhood. People that are on extreme budgets, which is absolutely relevant in over the last 12 months, more specifically with everything going on in the world. But now the three of us have cornered this particular market in this geographic area. Now we have an opportunity to dictate a secondary price and sell these. And what we're doing is we're preying on people's need to rip, that feeling of, well, I want to be able to collect something. I've got to be able to open something. So I'll pay you $40, Stefan, for your box of Gypsy Queen. We know damn well and good most of these products do not have a positive return value, nowhere near that. And we can name, whether you want to talk about Gallery and Fire and Chronicles and Elite Extra Edition and Rookies and Stars, doesn't mean that they're garbage products. It doesn't mean that they're not, collectible, because most of these are, to a certain degree, right? It just depends on your collecting style. Just like you mentioned earlier in the show with your pack of basketball, people are going to answer a poll question like that depending on how they choose to collect. Did you get good value? Well, are you looking for collecting value? Are you looking for short prints and numbered cards? Are you looking for the resale value on the secondary market over the short term or long term? No matter how you answer, that's how you're going to answer that question. And when it comes to retail, I think that you just have these people that are out there just trying to it's a small segment of the hobby. And I can guarantee you most of these people probably are not true hobbyists. They're just, hey, if they're unemployed or I mean, there's no way you can spend hours stocking vendors and have a 9-to-5 job with benefits and whatnot. It's just not. Yeah, you're literally spending hours to make nickels at the end of the day.
Yeah, unless you hit the, like I said, I've been lucky enough to walk in a couple of times when they were, they had just been stocked or was stocking, and it's like, but again, it's few and far between, and I don't know. And like I said, I'm not against it. I mean, I've done it. Like I recently did it with Prism Football. I bought about a whole block, these 24 cellos, and sold them within an hour. And made some money and put it to buying some 1970 Topps cards, and super happy about it. But again, it's the following the vendor from his house to the store, or following vendor from store to store, sitting there and waiting, bringing chairs. Mm-hmm. That's the stuff that it just gives everybody a really scumbaggy view. It's like, to me, in the hobby, there's included in the trading card hobby, there's a little bit bigger segment outside of it, which is the sports memorabilia collector dealer, right? Mm-hmm. Those people give me the heebie-jeebies, because who knows really how legitimate the autographs are, where did they get them, how did this stuff, that's the biggest reason I am not a huge autograph collector. And I have a bat my brother-in-law gave me from George Brett, but it was done at he bought it from somebody that did private signing with Brett to sell the bats. It wasn't, that's how they came across it, and there was authenticity to that, saying how they got the bat, and here it's certified, and all of this stuff was a private signing. To me, it just, and now this hanging out here and camping is just, ugh. I don't know.
Just the optics of, okay, so we're already seen as nerds to people that are outside of the hobby, right? Hey, I collect baseball cards. Really? I remember when those used to be worth something. I've got, you hear all of the cliches and comments running through our minds that people outside the hobby say, right? Obviously, we know there's a lot of money to be made right now in the hobby, and most people don't know that. But think about, the random person going through a Target or a Walmart, and as they're walking through there, they see a line of 15 guys standing there, and some 25-year-old, guy or girl stocking the shelf, and these people are just hounding them. It makes the hobby look dirty. It makes the hobby look bad. Not that anyone should necessarily care, but it's just the optics are bad, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, let's say you can sell one of these for 2x. We've done the math before, right? $22 out the door. If you're selling it online, it's $6 to ship. If you're selling it on a platform like eBay with fees associated, you're really not netting that much money. Maybe $8, $10 on a 2x sale. You're going to have to sell in heavy volume.
Yeah.
Is it really worth your time and effort, especially if you're buying the Elite Extra Edition, the Gallery, the Chronicles, the Gifter?
I can't wait till like Top Spire drops and somebody goes and clears the shelf out of it, and then they're just sitting on hundreds of dollars of Top Spire. Speaking of bad optics, I want to be sure for grading is still a scam. Grading is a scam. Here we go. At Old Dirty Mooch. By the way, great Twitter handle. It's OC. Don't send it in. It's a picture of a 1920 Panini Prism Cameron Johnson of the Suns, silver, in a gem minted 10 from PSA.
Looks like this.
And he said, at Old Town Cards, am I doing this right? Ha. At best, guys, I believe this is, and I'm not a grader, but I can tell it's 60-40 at best on the center. So how does a card that gets a gem 10 is off center? And I said that, and someone at Sigs Simos said doesn't have to be. PSA is 60-40 or better to get a gem 10. Brooks breaks 1, probably akin to grading on a curve. It'd be damn near impossible to get a gem of perfect 50-50 if perfect 50-50 centering is required. Then it's not a gem mint card. If it's not perfect, then how is it a 10? Therefore, it should be a 9 if it's not centered.
Yep. I had this argument with somebody, or argument, I use that word loosely, a debate, discussion, however you want to look at it.
Misappropriated.
When I had made a comment on a way off-centered Jose Canseco card, and somebody brought to my attention that a 55-45 is still eligible for a gem 10, right? I'm just like, first off, the card is centered, right? So that means it's 50-50 by definition. How does anything outside of 51-49 plus, how does that make it perfect? It doesn't, right? So a 55-45 by your own definition and admission is not perfect.
Well, and real quick, the centering on this card, it's like I said, I don't grade card, but it's so obviously off center.
Yeah.
It's not even close. That's the thing, and it got a gem mint 10. Guys, it's all someone's point of view of how good the card is. It's all subjective to that person that graded the card. And they go by these rules. Yeah, but 60-40 cannot be acceptable.
It shouldn't be.
Ben said 51-49 is not. I could understand if that was if it was a plus or minus 2, right?
Because that's a lot. That's so insignificant. But you see where I'm going with, right? That's an exaggeration.
Saying, but 60-40 is not in that card. At best is 60-40. At best. And I still think it looks like it's like 65-35. And so I can't. It frustrates me. And guys, and then the wait times are ridiculous. The prices are going up. There was SGC, the other one that does the black. They're not responding. I saw somebody tweet out they sent in cards in June and July, and they haven't heard back from them. And they don't know what happened to their cards. At this point, they feel like they were stolen. It's been 6 months. I mean, what happens tomorrow? You send in your Zions to get graded, right? You send all your Zion prisms to go in and get graded because you think you have all these 10s, and then he goes out and gets hit by a train.
So what you're saying is that I need to submit this to PSA, and I'll get a 10 grade.
You would, because what the hell?
Worst case, a 9.
It's just, I mean, I know we talked about this, I think on last week's show about, how can you just put an ad up there for, you need to headhunt so-called experts. You can't just put an ad up there and have them come to you, because the amount of money associated with the upfront cost versus the back end, appreciation, depreciation values are too significant to have just a random off the street minimum wage employee come in, right? This is something where a level of expertise and I know our good buddy Uncle Rich had come at me and said, well, listen, this is not for everybody. It's a very specific niche job. You can either do it or you can't. But we really need to tighten up what we consider as a hobby, to be gem mint.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, 55-45, in my opinion, and it's my opinion alone, and I'm sure there's other people that would agree with me, maybe you guys, 55-45 cannot be a 10 because it's off-center just enough. If you want to give a little bit of latitude and say a 52-48, and I know we're splitting hairs here because to the naked eye, and I know that not every card is going to be exactly measured the same, which brings up a whole nother issue. And until there's something digital where we can just throw a card in there and have the computer determine.
Well, and that's that new grading card company with Andy Broom. They're going to do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Steph, I'm not even going to look at that. By the way, Dub in the chat says, I mailed in my 86 Conseco back in October, was picked up today, and the grading started 10-day service. It's January.
You'll see that in June.
Please, guys, buy some one touches, put them in and I understand there are crazy people out there paying way more for 10s and 9s than anything else. But again, there's a case I didn't even put in the notes where someone was a Colin Sexton card that was a PSA 10-9. Someone cracked it, and this was from Wax Pack, the Wax Pack podcast, and Wax Pack the Museum podcast, and the guy cracked it and then was reselling it on eBay, and it was going for more already with bids than it was as a 9, because now people thought they could possibly get a 10, even though it was cracked, and there was proof that it was been graded. It was on, so it's like, how many times? And again, we saw the Superfractor that was graded twice. They got a way better grade once to the next, probably because it went to the card doctor. Just stay away. Smart move at Paul_car1. Finally sold my Jason Dominguez auto last week. I think he'll be a stud. But Galen prospects, it just isn't for me. Flip the money from the sale into these. I'll take established stars over unknowns every time. So you have an 03-04 Topps LeBron James rookie. You have an 01 Upper Deck Tiger Woods rookie, and a 2011 Bowman Mike Trout rookie. And they seem to be graded based on the holders. I don't see the tops, but based on the edges of the card. I think he did well. Would you not take Jason Dominguez and trade him for a LeBron, Mike Trout, and Tiger Woods autographs or rookie cards right now?
I love that. Despite pulling a super great card, he can admit that prospecting isn't for me, and I wanted to trade down to something I liked. I think that's what all of us are trying to do, but being able to say, hey, I may have wasted money doing this, but I have this that I can trade away for something that I do like. In this case, 3 really great cards. I do that every day.
Right? LeBron, how many championships, MVPs, finals has he been to? Hall of Famer. Tiger Woods, maybe one of the best golfers of all time. Mike Trout is the last 2 generations Mickey Mantles. But I mean that's what you're looking at. And you have the over 1 prospect autograph of a guy that's 18 years old now that's never taken a professional at bat. Guys, he's not played at all in the minors. He signed. He was going to play last year, but the minor leagues were canceled due to COVID. So, like, I don't know.
Well, if you're looking at the trade 1 for 3, again, you have to look at there are no right or wrong answer because for every person that's going to say, yeah, I'd rather have the 3 known quantities versus the 1 unknown. You're definitely probably selling this Dominguez or trading this Dominguez from a position of the top of the bell curve. Where does it? What room does it have to go? I mean, obviously there'll be a spike if the kid ever makes the majors, but based on his age,
will go down.
Yeah, and what are we looking at? 4 or 5 years from now, unless this kid becomes the next A-Rod or Ken Griffey, Dave Winfield. I mean, that's what he would have to be for this card to have any significant bump between now and 2024 at the earliest. The only thing I would say is that Tiger Woods is tremendously being overvalued at the moment. So I don't know if that now would be the best time to acquire that specific card.
But still, it's one of those cards. It's like
a
52 Mantle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that would argue the Dominguez over the other 3, and then there's the other side that would say the other 3. I think if you're looking just to collect, yeah, the 3 for 1 is great considering who they are.
How good would Dominguez have to beat those 3 cards out? I mean, you have a Hall of Fame basketball player, a Hall of Fame baseball player, and a Hall of Fame golfer, and maybe the best golfer of all time, possibly the best basketball player of all time, and possibly one of the top 10 best baseball players of all time for a guy that's never had a professional at bat. He would have to be Babe Ruth, Jack Nicklaus, and Michael Jordan put together.
If I'm not mistaken, he'd posted this for sale in mid-December.
And it's not even the first Bowman.
It's numbered to 150.
It's not even the first Bowman, and there's 150.
It's just, how, we've talked about the whole Joey Bart versus Buster Posey.
Started there.
Regardless of whether you view Posey as a Hall of Famer or not, he's definitely in the Hall of Very Good. 3-time world champion, a significant piece of 3-time champion team, and so on and so forth. I mean, he's been outside of Yadier Molina, maybe the best, Salvi Perez, now Real Muto. I mean, it's been a handful of catchers over the last decade and a half. Posey's, a 1B to Molina's 1A. But it's just, it's incredible to know that Joey Bart is going to be 20 times better than Posey. Rushman is going to be 20 times better than Molina and Posey. I mean, if these guys are exactly the same, then good. In another 10 years, then we'll be looking at Posey and go, come on. Or, excuse me, we'll be looking at Bart going, hey, that's a $60 card.
Yeah, no, I just that argument just drives me crazy. I have
how much is the Tiger Woods card worth?
Millions.
That's extremely popular in our YouTube chat at the moment.
It's worth millions. We're going to get into it about the cards Top Madness bracket, Topps Madness. So it's a 68 years of Topps designs from 52 to 2019, all seeded 1 through 16 with 4 playing games with all the 16 seeds. So we have 8 16 seeds to get in there. We have 4 brackets. This all started today, so you can vote on the playing games today through Tuesday. I think
The only thing that the only major question we've had is that currently you're only able to vote on 4.
Yeah, no. You're only available because every week it's so you vote for one round, and then the next it got that. So I'm gonna explain it. It's 7 weeks long. It runs Wednesday through Tuesday. So this week right now you can only vote for the playing games, and then next week you'll be able to vote for all of the games for the first round, and then the next week will be the second round, and so on until we get to the finals. So you have a whole week to do that. Please make sure you enter your name and email address in there because Underdog Collectibles is sponsoring the tournament, and they, again, remember, they offer a wide variety of break options that won't break the bank. Remember, always be the underdog. They're going to give away a 2020 Topps update box to the people that participate in the voting. So this is what they're calling the pre-round. We picked cards. I went through and grabbed designs from every card. I try to pick base cards, and I try to get an iconic rookie. I try not to double up players. So we have 60 different players versioned on there. We have 4 brackets. We have the Dr. James Beckett bracket, the Jefferson Burdick bracket, the Sideburger bracket, and the Rich Klein bracket. 4 guys that had a lot to do with the hobby, and all of them. And we had 4 number 1 seeds, of course. The number 1 overall seed was the 1987 Topps. The number 2 overall seed, and that resides in the James Beckett bracket. The number 2 overall seed is 1965 in the Sideburger bracket. The 3rd overall seed, 1964 in the Rich Klein, and then the 1991 Topps is the number 4 overall seed, and that's down in the Jefferson Burdick bracket. Now, the 3 of us all went through and we voted. We put in our rankings and put in there what's going on. What we thought designs were best. We had some arguments on 1957, which Ben and I think is disgustingly ugly. Steph loves.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys undervalued. I think you guys undervalued 75 Topps quite a bit. I think it's a 12 seed, so that's gonna be a 12-5 upset. So people loved 76.
I thought I had that fairly high.
No,
maybe I didn't.
Look,
yeah,
we have maybe one of the best audiences in sports, and we welcome disagreements and arguments, but you're not just going to spam our chat. I can do this all day. I can block accounts. I can mute them. We can delete them from the channel. Keep being great. The rest of you. And we're sorry for the interruption through chat.
Yeah, I'm going through and taking care of this stuff. So sorry about that, fellas, gals, guys, kids, everybody. So no, yeah, I think no. So I think we did a pretty good job. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but again, that's why you guys can vote. Yeah, you had Ben, you had it ranked as a 14 seed. So yeah, you didn't have 75. Very high. I'm sorry. You had it 14th overall. It was Steph. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was Steph.
No, I thought I had it. I thought I had it relatively higher. 57 is a garbage product, and I know there's a lot of people out there, and I know a lot of our
Steph had it ranked as the 65th best set.
75.
Yeah.
He only did that because you and I hate 57. So he had 1986 ranked like 66th overall out of 68.
I submitted that before you guys tanked.
By the way, you rated. Hold on, I saw this. You put 2002 as the worst set out of all 68 stuff, and then you voted for it as a better set than the set it's going against.
I didn't say my madness made sense.
Oh, Steph.
No,
Steph.
so truth be told, I went to a place that has all of the different designs all saved. So on one page, I downloaded all of the pictures and I went through and said, is this a great set? Is this a good set? Is it a bad set? Is it a horrible set? And then from there, I had all the pictures stored in their own individual folder, a great folder, a good folder, etc.
Tremendous.
And I went through and said, which one do I hate the most? Which one do I hate the second least? Which one do I hate the best? Which one do I like the best? And that's how my methodology for placing my sets.
So if you guys aren't familiar, let's see if I can make this a little bigger here. But here's all of the years, and 2020 is in there, but it's 69 years. We should have maybe done this last year, but it just popped in our heads. But here's all the cards I picked from the different sets to be put in there. 52 Mantle all the way to a 19 Judge, and it gives a good idea of all like star players or key rookie cards from that set, and what they look like, and you'll be able to see those on there, and you can vote once a week. Which is great, and those will go in there. It'll be. I think it's going to be fun. I think that it's going to bring up some good discussion. Some people already want to be tagged in it when we send out the new weekly thing, and we'll make sure to do that. So, So, guys, you can vote. So this week's only 4 votes. You're just voting for the play-in seeds, and then next week you'll be able to vote for all of the games. All 32 games that are being played. So again, like the NCAA tournament, they have playing games, and then so we decided to have the worst of the worst play each other to then go lose to a number 1 seed and roll from there. So I think we've had around 50 votes so far, which isn't bad for me. Just for us just tweeting it out a little bit. And we're gonna send a tweet out every day to just do a reminder to make sure that that it's in there. So that it's out there and doing it. Oh, we're up to 152 votes. Nice. Just checked in on that. So that was a huge jump because it was about 40 earlier today. So so it'll be fun. You guys will get a say in everything in chat, and we want to have some discussions or some arguments on how things are going. It will be a good time. This was sent over. I think Ben shared this with us. Health of the hobby card archivist. How does one measure the health of the hobby? Average card value, price trends, market cap, access to retail hobby products. If the prices are trending up while access for the average person is trending down, is the hobby becoming healthier? So I want to bring this up. I think it's a great question. I think it really depends on how you're collecting or how you're involved in the hobby, the way you're going to see this. So Ben, walk through it. So, you had a reply there, but how do you see this question about the current health of the hobby?
Yeah, Brian's a great follow on Twitter. He's got a lot of good insight, and he offers these not necessarily rhetorical questions, but just thought-provoking questions quite often. And again, there's a million and one ways to answer this, right? And the three of us more or less see things in line with one another, at least on this type of a topic, to the point where we're gonna probably answer it the same, right? A lot of people, I know Uncle Rich has mentioned this before in the past. How can having all this new money into our hobby be a bad thing? And I think it's very short-sighted, in my opinion, because what it's doing is it's creating elevated prices. $50 boxes are now $150 boxes. $200 boxes are $500 boxes. You got guys like Brent Williams being forced out after 30 years of doing this. You've got 17 guys lining up at retail, stocking vendors. This is not a healthy look for our hobby. It's not sustainable. And what it's going to do is it's going to push people that are casual, budgeted collectors out. You're going to have long-term collectors who are just go, hey, I don't have to do this. It's just a hobby for me. I can go find something else to do with my time and, my money. Susie asked today on her card chat, are you plan on spending more or less in the hobby this year? And it's like, for most of us, if we plan on buying the same products from last year to this year, you're spending more because the price is going to be elevated in 2021 over 2020, just like it was over 19 and over 18. Is it healthier? That's a very subjective thing. In my opinion, I don't think it is. I think we're looking right in the eye of the storm. We're right in the middle of it, and it's just going to get worse over time. At least over the next 2 or 3 years.
My thoughts are, I think I agree with some points there. I do. That getting new people into the hobby or old people back into the hobby is great.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is with the not the singles prices, but it's the packs and the boxes prices that I think are getting to a spot where you can't just kind of test the waters and find what you want to collect or what you like to collect, because that would used to give you an opportunity to do that. And agree, it's going to drive out collectors that are just are doing this to have fun and enjoy. The money aspect gets in the way of it, and we all understand that. We all have those limitations, and we all have a spot where we say, enough's enough. I'm out. I'm going to walk away from this because I'm spending way too much time or money into this and getting frustrated, not getting any enjoyment or excitement out of doing this. And so they might not ever come back. So once the people that are in it just to make the quick money leave because it's no longer there, and then you also lose the real baseline collector, and they're gone, it could hurt. And I think that's going to happen at some point. I don't know when, but that collector that could hang on right now, it's really good for them, because there's guys like me, and I think Dub's been selling cards too. We have a stockpile of stuff from the last 3 or 4 years where we were buying it at normal prices, and now we're able to sell it at 20x. I mean, there are cards I bought at $1 and $2 boxes a year or two ago that I'm now able to sell for $20 to $30 to $40 for these cards, and I have 5 or 6 of them. So selling 4 doesn't hurt me. Ben Aguirre hates when I post I'm looking to sell an 1819 Prism basketball set. I bought a complete set of 1819 Prism basketball from him in the neighborhood of $40 to $60 shipped. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I spent. They're going for upwards of $1,400 now. I bought one from the card shop. I negotiated down to $40. Yeah. Ben, you deleted your Twitter?
Apparently.
Nice.
Still there as far as I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I think you have some trolls tonight. There's someone asking who else here from Ben's Twitter account.
So whoever runs Cheap Fun Breaks at Blowout TV decided to retweet a picture I had tweeted of a bunch of guys standing in Target. And I said, if you see yourself in this picture, you're a douchebag. And he's like, if you're the guy taking the picture, you're the douchebag. Basically, under the assumption that I was the one taking the picture, which I wasn't. I don't shop at Target first and foremost very often, maybe 2 times a year. So I don't know who the guy is behind there. But yeah, we had a few words on Twitter just recently. Because it's like, dude, if you're going to come at me, be a little bit better than calling me a petty individual. Hey, you want to stand in line at your local retailer? By all means, go for it. But understand there's going to be a large contingency of the hobby that's going to call you a douchebag. And I don't know who this random breaker is. Obviously, he's got a large following. But hey, more power
I can
to
say
you.
something. I don't know. I don't know him personally. It's Houdini. He's normally, from the interactions I've had, have been really good. So
Does he work for Tom Fish?
No, not directly. No, he has
Indirectly.
No, I think he's listed as that because that's what he used to do. That's how he got kind of known. He busts a lot of product. Whenever I've watched some of his breaks and stuff, he's I would say one of the more fair breakers and open and honest guys out there about doing it. I think he's a good example if you wanted to see a good breaker, kind of what to do. But everybody has their opinion on photos and stuff like that. So
no, and obviously he took that a little too personal. So obviously I'm sure he's guilty of that. to some degree, or has people that are, and maybe that's how he acquires product. I don't know. But if you're going to come at me directly, you're damn right I'm going to stand up for myself. And hey, I called him a couple of names on Twitter, which I've since deleted because I'm better than that. But at the same time, I had fun with him for about 45 minutes. It's like, here's the thing.
Maybe
Social media is voluntary, right? We're not required to do it. We do it for fun. We do it for any number of reasons. It's therapeutic. It's great to build friendships and whatnot. But there are a lot of people out there that take social media far too serious. And it's a great platform when used correctly. I had some really good news on a personal level. Okay, Steve, hey, I don't know Houdini personally, but a your mom joke is a your mom joke. It's juvenile. It's a 12-year-old type joke. If it's taken seriously, then that's the person that's taking that should look within. Dude, your mama jokes are nothing more than that. So hey, apologies to him if his mom's in the ICU, but
she is.
People need to. I don't know who the guy is, and I really don't care. Honestly, I don't.
Well, and that's the thing. The hobby is big enough that it's entirely possible. You just the circles that you hang around in, and the circles that everyone else hangs around in. Lord knows you made some enemies. There aren't full Venn diagram overlaps. You may not have known Cheap Fun Breaks. His mother has been having issues. I've seen a post or two, and I knew that much. But
I don't follow him, and I don't know who he is. And it's one of those things, though. But the thing is, if you're gonna come at me first, based on something, I don't follow him, and he doesn't follow me. I don't know that we've ever had any direct interactions with one another. So if you're gonna hop on my timeline on Twitter, and if anybody follows me, you know how much fun I like to have with pictures we see on Facebook. Sure. Every day I hashtag the shit you see on Facebook because that's where I get a lot of that stuff. It's not my stuff directly, and usually I qualify it by saying this is not my card. It's just to incite discussion. And when I'm taking that picture and he comes and says, "Hey, you're the douchebag," it's like, whoa, settle down, my man. I don't even know who you are. So now you're personally attacking me. I don't follow you. And second off, get your facts straight. It's not my picture. It's not on my cell phone. I wasn't standing there in the Target. I have no idea what Target that was taken in. For all I know, it's taken in any number of the other 49 states. And then you're going to come at me directly. You're damn right. I'm going to bark back. And he got his feelings hurt on a your mama joke. Okay, I didn't know. Your mom was in. Hey, social media should not be taken as personal as it is.
I did Twitter has full advanced search feature where you can type usernames and keywords and whatnot. In this case, I literally just typed your name and Cheap Fun Breaks. You had one interaction prior to today. You were asking him, he had posted a picture of a 1-of-1 A's card. And you said, hey, if that's available. And he replied back giving you the username. That's literally your only interaction. It was in 2017.
See, so 3 years ago. I don't personally follow a lot of breakers outside of guys like Mojo and Crack and Wax and Midwest. I don't have a ton of interaction with breakers because I don't get into breaks. So why would I involve myself with a lot of breaks and breakers? So yeah, if he obviously took that picture personally, so hey, that's more of an indignation of you personally than me. I'm just saying, hey, I have a problem when guys are standing outside of a Target. Hell, we're in the middle of a pandemic. What's going on with 6 feet apart? These guys are literally on top of one another, if nothing else. And this guy, Steve, you're welcome to disagree with me. I appreciate your opinion, but yeah, I'm sorry. If you're literally standing at a Target, I'm going to call you a douchebag. If you're standing out there instead of going out and getting a job, you're chasing retailers. And we've illustrated this many times on this podcast, many times, that there are people stalking vendors at their cars, now at their homes, and following them stores, and people that are on Facebook and Twitter saying that I went to 17 Walmarts today, all up and down the state of, whatever state it's in, because it happens in multiple states. I'm sorry, go get a 9-to-5, go get a 401k, go get health benefits, go get accrued vacation and sick time. You're literally standing at a Target, and to me, that's being a douchebag. If you're sitting there, trying to get a 2x, and then you're going to post your quote unquote score on Facebook. Hey, I'm asking $1,500 ship for this lot of $300 retail, and you're getting 26% interest on your Visa on the brink of bankruptcy. Come on, man.
Damn it, Bean.
Anyway, guys, I know it's yeah. So again, we're just gonna, I want to move on from this. I just think that again, Ben said there's no interaction between these guys before. I think Steph and I've had decent interaction with them before, and it was all good. Again, it's somebody's taken something the wrong way, and we all can try to do better and understand each other a little better, or not take each other so seriously. Again, this hobby is for fun for most of us, to collect and talk cards, and harken back to days of our youth when we would hang out with friends and chew gum and trade cards. So, like I said before, I think the health of the hobby all depends on where you stand and where you're going to go. But we're going to wrap up the show tonight. Is any final thoughts before we head out?
My cat is a butthole. And if you follow me on Twitter, I'll explain why.
Yeah, get out and vote. We appreciate Underdog Collectibles sponsoring this show, as well as our About the Cards Topps Madness tournament of 68. Get out and vote. Remember, 1957 Topps is the devil. And if 1987 starts to fall behind, we will go to our decision desk and call it we'll call it early. 87 will win, although in the next round, it appears like 1956. I think if 56 gets through, which it should, in round 2, I don't know that 87 stands a chance up against 56.
Yeah.
Good challenge.
It's going to be good because there's some really surprising matchups. And the way when I went through and I was doing the seeds, as I, so 87 was number 1, and then I went to the second number 1 seed, the third, the fourth, and then I went. The number 1, 2 seed was down here. Number 1, 2 seed was down there. Number 2, 2 seed was here, and then so on, and just kind of went back and forth like this. So there's going to be some very interesting matchups going on in the matchup. And like I said, we appreciate Underdog for helping us out. I think they found us through our buddy Mike Summer. Again, we're going to have Chris Torres on the January 27th show to talk about Project 2020 and do a review and recap and rehash of all of that. Mm-hmm. Ryan Cracknell is on next week, the famous Ryan Cracknell. We're very blessed that he considers us friends of his. Sure. I'm just be honored to share the screen with him and the great Canadian that he is. Huh?
I said, sorry, I just read Dub's last comment. Yeah, we'll have to talk some Canadian hockey.
And hockey's going to be starting, and then I saw they're doing like 2-game series. Nice. And they're going to be doing 2-game series, which is first time in hockey, right? They're going to play a back-to-back game. Awesome.
Those second games are going to be real bitter.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's going to add some just a little sauce.
Mm-hmm. They're like mini playoff series.
Yeah, I think they should have done that in basketball.
Be a good idea.
I mean, they do a lot like here, Sacramento and Golden State. I swear to God, they have home and aways like a couple of times a year, which is awesome.
Outside of the Dallas Stars, it's looking like it's going to be a fun start to the season. The league did between administrators and trainers and coaches like 100,000 tests, and 17 of the 27 positive tests that came back were all Dallas Stars employees or players.
Fix it. Like, my friend's a huge Ohio State fan, and they got blown out by Bama on Monday night. And he's like, well, we're missing 13 guys. You know, they had all COVID. And I go,
well, and that's not like the Big Ten played very often either.
Well, no, and my thing is like, okay, well, you guys have been awful all year long with your COVID protocols. You've had guys out all over the place. And he goes, well, the Big Ten's got different rules. If you test positive, you can't play in that. You have to have so many days. Everybody has that rule. So you guys, as an organization, if you want to look at it, Ohio State messed up. You know, Northwestern had 0 positive tests all year, and guess what? They play in the Big Ten.
I don't think the Gophers did either.
How did Northwestern figure it out? It was a good program, good team, and Ohio State couldn't. It tells me that there's some oversight.
Like protocol.
Yeah, they're not following there, and I don't blame. Hey, I'm so glad Bama rolled them.
You know, it's kind of a bitter point because my mom graduated from Auburn, and Dad, to be contrary, chose Alabama in the '90s when these teams weren't as huge as they are now.
Yeah, in the '90s.
And yeah, it's Angela naturally being an Ohio State fan. It was a rather interesting Monday watching the game.
Listen, let's just my college is Kansas, and they suck at football. I'm pretty sure I could go at 41 with bad knees and being overweight and go play on that team. But let's just say that the SEC is where football's played, unless you live in the state of Georgia. So make sure you subscribe, and remember, we're live every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Pacific on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and review our show on all platforms. And hey, and Bean was right, man. If you give us some likes as you're watching this on YouTube, we'd love that too. There's algorithms or whatever, but we appreciate that. We're almost 800 followers now on YouTube, which is awesome. Follow us on Twitter at About the Cards. Follow Ben at Our Trading Cards. Follow Steph at Junkwax Twins. Make sure you check out at UDog Collect on Twitter, and check out UDog Collectibles online. And see what they have to offer. Breaks. It's a great brand new partnership. They're going to be with us here through the toll tournaments, supporting us and doing that. And they're even doing a giveaway. So make sure you do that. And please follow me at Big Shep 79. We appreciate we all share your hobby stories. Great polls. Send your questions our way. Keep collecting, and we'll talk to you all next week.